We are a third generation turkey farm. We are Meadowlark turkeys. John and I had took over the family farm back in 2017. We raise your whole bird. So that Thanksgiving bird, that's what we specialize here at Meadowlark. We raise those whole turkey birds. So do you want to give us a little rundown on how many turkeys we have?
So we do around 6 cycles a year of start between 46 to 48,000 a time. They are only a matter of hours to less than a day old when we get them. That comes to about 260 to 275,000 turkeys a year that we sell out of this farm.
It's a lot of turkey.
Yep.
Cool.
Awesome. If you're just joining us, I know it takes a while. Welcome. We're at Meadowlark Turkey Farm with, as you just met, Ashley and John Klopaki. We also want you to know Minnesota, this is a fun fact for the classrooms, Minnesota is the #1 grower of turkeys. And we are only 2 days away from Thanksgiving, so what perfect timing to be here visiting the turkey farm. In a moment, we're going to head inside the barn, and you're going to meet Sue, one of the other education specialists with Minnesota Ag in the Classroom, and she will tell you about what she has to do before entering the barn. And then I will join you again to ask the questions that your students are thinking of in their head. So please, teachers, in the comment section, add any questions that your classrooms have, and we'll ask the farmers live. We're so happy that you're with us. If you're just joining us, hopefully everything's working and you can hear us. If for some reason when we get into the barn we lose the connection, hang on, we will not leave you. Hopefully it will pop back on occasionally in the barn. Things get sketchy. So if for some reason we're not back within 30 seconds, just log out and log back on, and we'll stick around and make sure that we get through this.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Hey, I just wanted to do a shout out to Faith and Eddie. If you're watching, Mom and Dad love you.
All right, let's meet the turkeys.
All right.
We're not saying sideways.
Yes, except they can only just see two. Hi everybody, my name is Sue Knott and I work with Minnesota Agriculture in the Classroom with Tony, whom you just met. And I'm also really excited to be here at Meadowlark Turkey Farm. You just met John and Ashley, and I just heard a shout out to Faith and Eddie, so St. Mary's and Melrose, thanks for joining us. A lot of you have also signed in, so thank you. I'm going to read a few, I'm not going to get everybody, but hello, Northside Elementary 3rd graders, Lewiston Altura High School, Miss Wessel's 3rd grade class in Holdingford, good morning. We also have Mr. Myers' class in Brainerd, and the very first class was Miss Rio's class at Holdingford Elementary as well. So let us know you're here. We'd like to keep track, so put your class and school in the comments section. So as you can see, I'm wearing these white coveralls. This is because I was in my car, I was in my home, I was several other places this morning that I might have picked up some germs on my clothing that I could bring in and make the turkeys sick. So I'm wearing these coveralls. I also have on plastic boots that I'm going to dip in iodine so that I don't bring any extra germs in there that could potentially make those turkeys sick. You'll see that Ashley and John, the owners of Meadowlark Turkey Farm, are just wearing their normal clothes because they came directly from their home where they have these freshly laundered clothes that don't have any germs on them that would make the turkeys sick. Plus they work here, so they're used to that. So we're going to head in just a minute and meet these turkeys. We're going to dip our feet in iodine, and Ashley and John, why don't you guys join me? Yeah. They've changed their boots since outside, taken off their jackets because it's going to be kind of warm in here. So we're all going to dip, and then we're going to go in, right? I'll let you go first.
I will lead the way. Come on in.
right, as you can see, there are lots and lots of turkeys in this barn. So they are definitely the stars of the show today. So why don't you guys start with telling us a little bit about the turkeys that we see, how many, how big, what they're used for, all that sort of stuff.
Okay, there's about 16,100 turkeys in this barn. At this time, they're about 13.5 pounds. They're market weight right now. They overall look really healthy and it's, yeah.
So say that number again, because that's a big number. How many are here?
16,100.
16,100 turkeys. Now, Ashley, are these boys or girls, or tell us more about them?
Yep, so these are hens, which means girls. That is all that we raise here at Meadowlark. These birds will be going to market actually tonight, but you will find your whole bird, your Thanksgiving bird. That is what we raise here at Meadowlark. So, like John, 15 pounds is what is in this barn right now, but we also will raise some birds that are even heavier. On average, it takes about, how long?
About 12 weeks, a little shy of 12 weeks to get to market weight.
So about
for
12
light
weeks
hens. Yep. For this
from
barn.
start to till they go to market. And then also our heavies, it takes roughly about
17 weeks.
17 weeks.
So these turkeys are 12 weeks old, about 13.5 pounds. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and you said from start to finish, that's about 12 weeks. We know that turkeys hatch from eggs. Do you guys hatch those turkey chicks yourself, or how does that process work?
No, so we work with Jenny O Turkey Store, and Jenny O has different poult farms. So we will actually get our birds trucked in from either Barron, Wisconsin, Detroit Lakes, Foley, Henning. Those are the hatcheries that we get them from. So they will deliver them, and they're literally hours old. And then we have a special barn just for little babies. And then when they're about 3 weeks old, then we move them into what this barn here is. It's called a grow out barn. So then they have room and space to grow up to be bigger turkeys.
Hold on 1 second.
And I think I misspoke. They're not chicks when they're hatched. What are they called?
They're called poults.
Poults. Baby turkeys are poults, everyone.
Yes.
So that's a good trivia fact to bring up at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So can you guys tell us how you take care of these turkeys, what you feed them, what their daily life is like here?
Right. So here is. I'm gonna get a little bit of. This is the feed that we feed them. It's a mix of corn, distillers, soybean, bone meal. It's a very natural feed. And they seem to like it. So as you can see, this is an automatic feeder. It goes 24/7. So this is our drop tube. It comes from outside from a bin, and it drops in, and it automatically, it's like a constant buffet.
Constant buffet. And then the turkeys eat down here, right? Whenever they want. John, do you want to
Yes.
show us how this
Yep,
works?
they can peck in here and come in here and grab whatever they want. And you can see some over here. And it constantly drops down as they want more, and it keeps coming.
Yep, and
Yep.
then there's lots of feed. This whole line is full of these feeders. And then back here,
Let's go back here, everyone. Let's check out the water, right? This is the water.
John, if you want to explain what this is.
So this is the water line system we have in this barn. Obviously comes from here. It's got a regulator. All a turkey has to do is technically dip his head in here and his beak and scoop the water out. And every time he puts his head in here, it activates the water, and more water comes in the cup.
So this is a closed.
This is a closed water line system.
And why is a closed system?
A little less bacteria growth and whatnot.
Healthier
It's just
for the birds.
Healthier for turkeys.
So closed
Cleaner
means,
water.
what does the closed system mean?
There's not much water sitting around.
Okay.
So if there's any water, it's inside a pipe. There's no water sitting much in a cup.
Got it. Okay, awesome, you guys. That's food, water. We learned a little bit about these turkeys, and I think Tony has some questions. So hop in here, Tony.
We
Yeah.
do.
Jen and Ann.
Awesome. First up, I want to give a shout out to Mrs. Patrick's second grade class from Holdingford. The third graders from Morris Elementary, thank you for joining us. Mr. Hurst's 4-5 class from East Union. And there were a bunch from St. Mary's in Melrose, which I think, yes, the first grade class and the second grade class.
Awesome.
One of the questions that came through is, why does Minnesota have so many turkeys?
Good question.
It's a good question. I was asked this yesterday, and I think it's the location of, there's 3 different processors in the state, and I think with the weather, I mean, you would think that it's not so ideal, but you know, spring through summer. Fall is
turkeys
really good.
They don't like it super hot either. So.
Right.
And then we can kind of climate control our barns in the winter. So,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe.
I think that's a great answer. And then we have another question here from Traquan, and he wants to know, what is the heaviest that a turkey can get?
Ooh.
Oh boy, you can get Tom's, the male version. They market at 45 pounds, or I mean, the breeder Toms are really heavy.
So he's saying like the males, the boys, they can reach up 45 to 50 pounds.
Yes.
So on our farm specifically, though, we only do hens, girls.
And we only raise them up to about 22 pounds.
22 pounds is about
Yes.
the heaviest we've seen girls.
So how big are these turkeys here? Did we already?
These
Yeah,
are
these are
13 and a half.
Okay.
Yep, these are your nice medium size, aka light hen, as they call it. Light hen and heavy hen.
Yep.
Well, and we also want to thank Mrs. Nepples' class, who loves Minnesota Egg in the Classroom from Martin County West. I'm going to let Sue back in, and I'll come back with questions, so keep asking them.
Yes, and please, if you're just joining us, make sure you put in the comment section your school, teacher's name, so we can definitely keep track of you and make sure we know that you're here. So we heard a little bit about the turkeys. Can you guys tell us more about this barn, like how big it is and what's on the ground? It's not a normal, like, dirt floor or cement or anything like that. So tell us a few features about this barn, please.
This barn is 62 feet wide by 496, so 500 feet long. It primarily consists of one side of curtains, both sides of curtains, and exhaust fans to run to ventilate air. A couple of vents, intake vents in the ceiling. Fans, a lot of air movement. I always like a lot of air movement. Turkeys we don't want any dead air.
So you said it's 500 feet long.
Yes.
Like, compare that to something else, like a football field or something else that we would maybe...
Boy, how many yards are in there?
Okay, football fans, how many feet are in a football field? 100 yards
Figure
times
this out,
300 feet, right?
Okay, so bigger than a football field.
Yeah, like a field and a
bigger than
half.
field and a half.
Yeah,
There
a
you
field
go.
and a
Field
half.
Yep.
So yeah, imagine that. This is really long, and it has to be pretty big for our 14,100 turkeys, right?
16,000.
16,000.
Yes.
I'm sorry, 16,000.
Yes, it does. Yep.
And then how about the ground? What's on the ground?
Primarily, well, it's a little dirty now, but primarily wood shavings, sunflower hulls to oat hulls, anything you can get your hands on. Byproducts of anything.
And it feels nice and soft. Like I hope it's nice for the turkeys to
Oh
walk
yeah,
on.
then that's primarily our care. The good legs, you take care of their legs, so you want a good dry
foot
litter.
pads.
Your foot pads, so you want good litter conditions. As you can see, a lot
Keeping
of
it
feathers.
dry is key. Dry litter.
And that's why the closed water system probably helps with that as well.
Yeah.
Yep, it helps.
Yep.
Cool. All right, Tony, do we have a couple more questions? Hop
We
on in here.
do. Hi. I'm trying to find it here. Mr. B's class asks, how do you count all the turkeys?
Okay. Also, when we get them from the hatchery at those few hours, they're counted there. We get them in a box of 100 at a time. So we kind of know, we kind of have the first barn divided off in petitions, so we know how much is in each section. So I have I call the brooder barn petitioned off so that we know how many turkeys are in that section and that many turkeys will go in a grow out barn. And then at the end, we keep track of mortality, so we kind of minus it off, and we kind of know what will sell, and then they get counted.
Starts at the hatchery, though.
Yes.
That's how
Yes.
And that's another question that kind of, I think, is linked to this. Somebody asked, how many barns do you have?
We have 5 barns.
There are 5 barns
Yes.
here.
5 barns. So
So-
1 brooder barn, which is just for babies, and then we have 4 grow out barns.
Yes.
Which
Yep.
equivalates to how many birds in a year, roughly?
260 to 270,000 birds a year.
Lots of birds.
Lots of turkeys. I kind of like this question from Joanna from WWG in 5th grade. She wants to know, do the turkeys ever bite you?
I mean, if you provoke them,
I mean, if
they
you go
would.
down, they'll peck on you. I mean, they don't ever hurt. So.
They aren't aggressive, so they don't like come after us or anything. They're very mostly gentle and pleasant to be around.
And we have another class that we'll give a shout out to Stumpner's class. And they have asked, they're a K-8 class, do all the turkeys have names? After hearing...
Unfortunately, no, not here.
We should spend a little time in that area.
And then...
A lot of names, yes.
That would be. Here's another fun one. Where and how do the turkeys sleep? Do they sleep standing up?
No, they actually do lay down. They well,
you can
kind
even
of.
see.
They kind of lay primarily
Right here, there's some laying
good
down.
spots. You know, they kind of snuggle together.
Let's slide this way and see some of these turkeys.
Yeah.
They're resting.
Throw
You
their
can kinda
heads-
see.
They throw their heads down on their back when they sleep, but they none of them are waking them up. So.
And they huddle together. Like you can see this little pack in here in the middle there. Just hanging out. Living their best life.
They do look very calm and comfortable.
They're naturally
Yes.
coming kind of toward us right now. They
seem
want to
real
see what's
curious.
going on.
Yeah, I
yes.
was just going to say they seem really curious too.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
maybe you guys could take a couple minutes and talk about, you said these are going to market tonight.
Yeah.
If you are going to purchase a turkey in a grocery store, how would you know like where it came from, or how, where do these turkeys end
Yeah.
up?
Yeah, so we process, we have a partnership with Jenny-O Turkey, and that's where we sell all of our birds to Jenny-O Turkey stores. So if you get a Jenny-O turkey, you can actually look, there's a hanging tag on the bird, and you can go to jennyo.com, and there's a 5-digit code on the top left, and you can punch in to see just where your turkey came from. I actually, just for fun, I bought a turkey at Walmart in Sauk Center and tracked it, and it came from our farm. So there is a good possibility that your bird could be from our farm here in Melrose.
Or any other local farm.
Any other, yeah, right. There's a lot of us because we're the #1 producing turkey in the U.S., this state, I should say.
And if you're a student listening, I wonder how many million turkeys you would guess we produce in the state of Minnesota. Should we give them a second to guess in their heads?
Yeah,
Yes.
take a stab.
Take a stab. Okay. Tell a neighbor. Well, the answer is around 42 million turkeys are produced in the state of Minnesota. This question kind of fits along with that. The Redwood Valley students want to know, how long does the turkeys take from hatch to harvest?
So 12 weeks it takes for these right now. So these are 12 weeks old, and that's to harvest right now. And then that's what these are.
Yep, 12 weeks, and then our heavier birds can be around 18 to 20 weeks.
Yep.
Let's say hi to, it looks like Mrs. Tuttle's 3rd grade class.
Hey guys.
And then I have one other question here, and I don't know if we'll know the answer to this, but this is Nolan from WWG. They have a lot of good questions there, 5th grade. They want to know, how fast do turkeys run?
Very fast, actually.
They do.
Yes, they are.
They can be very hard to catch.
They're hard to catch, more harder to catch than you think. So they can outrun me easily. Normally, you gotta catch them in a corner or an obstacle of some sort.
Yeah, try to corner them or whatever. Yeah.
They can be caught, but.
So I have a question for you guys. What are some of the best things about being turkey farmers, and what are some of the hardest things about being turkey farmers here in Minnesota?
So the best thing is, for me, I love animals. I love the taking care of them, the everyday, the flexibility that comes. I mean, we have to do chores every day, so that can be a down. It's a 24/7 job. Like it's a constant, but it's something at the end of the day you can feel really good about. You're feeding lots of people, especially this time of year, Thanksgiving. This is kind of the showcase. And it's just something for me I feel really good about. It's very rewarding. And I know like Adam Thielen, he teamed up with Jenny O, and they're feeding lots of people in need. And, you know, us farmers, any farmer gets to be a part of that. And at the end of the day, that is just something that is truly rewarding. So,
Well said.
yeah. Yeah. So those are some good things. Challenges.
Challenges, yeah, it's every single day, no matter what. If there's a matter of something breaking down, you got to be there, no matter what you got going on.
And when birds, you know, birds are like humans, like kids,
get
like
cold.
you guys. You get cold, you know, and it's like you're being like your mom and dad, you know, trying to figure out, you know, how to get you better.
Try to get them comfortable.
We have to do that. We have to do that with the birds too. So that can be challenging. That can be a struggle because you want to make the birds feel good and be better, like you kids.
Go ahead, Tony. You have any other? We're going to wrap things up in just a couple minutes, so we'll take a couple more questions.
Perfect. I'm just going to say this one. We don't really have to answer it, but Mrs. Sumner's class asks if the turkeys like classical piano music to calm them down because they do.
Oh.
I never tried it, I guess.
You know, okay, we have not tried it, but I
We've
do
discussed it,
from
but-
time. No.
I've said I wouldn't mind having music in a barn, but I don't know how it would work.
I mean, I will sing. I do sing every, you know, if I gotta, you know, sing on a Sunday morning or something, I warm up with the birds. I don't know if they like it though.
And there has been a few questions, and I'm trying to find exactly. Oh, Mrs. Perry's third grade class asked this, and so did a few others. How do you? They're really worried about cleaning, so they were wondering, how do you clean the barn?
We'll come in with a skid loader, tractor skid loader, scoop up the manure or scrape it out, clean it out. After that's done, we'll take a pressure washer, wash the walls, ceiling, everything, the water lines, feed lines, pretty much clean everything out so it's clean again. And then put new litter back in, new bedding, and then put everything down and start over.
Yeah.
So how long does that process take usually?
To do that,
Yeah.
a few days.
Okay, a couple
Yeah,
days, and then you
few
get a
days.
new set of a new
Yes.
group of turkeys.
Yep. Normally, you turn around a week or two.
Cool. Well, thank you guys, everybody, all the classes for joining us. Thank you for putting your questions in so Tony could ask them to our farmers. As Tony and I, we work with the Minnesota Ag in the classroom program that's part of the Minnesota Department of Agriculture. And our commissioner, Commissioner Tom Peterson, the Commissioner of Agriculture in the state of Minnesota. Hi, Commissioner Peterson. We saw he's viewing, so we thank him for his support of our program and of turkey farmers across the state. If you want to know more about Minnesota Ag in the classroom, visit our website, mn.agclassroom.org. If you want to know more about turkey production in Minnesota or turkey farmers, the Minnesota Turkey Growers Association has an awesome website too, minnesotaturkey.com. And I just want to thank John and Ashley Klophockey for having us. You guys were awesome hosts. And you guys have a Facebook page as well?
We do. I need to probably pay attention to it a little more. You can find us on Facebook, Meadowlark Turkeys. I'll probably post a few things, do some pictures, but yes, you can find us there as well.
All right, well, thanks again for joining us. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Eat turkey.
Yes.
Gobble, gobble.